Welcome again to RWDO. Have you had employees that are dear to your heart and you just love the way they work, you love the way they do things, you don't have to tell them much before they know what to do. They just know the right thing to do and they do it. And suddenly they come to you and give you that bad news that they want to leave and you just don't know what to do because they are your best hand. As one is leaving, the other one is writing and is also leaving. Then as you are still bemoaning your fate on what to do, another one is yet leaving. You are losing your good hands. To look inwards and ask yourself, how do I retain my best employees as an employer or as a supervisor? So on this episode of RWDO, we'll be talking about how to retain your best hands, how to retain your best hands, your best employees within an organization. And in doing so, we'll be examining 9 points. The first of all these 9 points that we'll be looking at will be what employees would like to hear, which is the first thing is offer competitive compensation and benefit package to your employees. Employees want to feel like they are being treated well. So when you offer them competitive packages, when you give them good packages that are reasonable within the organization, within the industry, or within the sector, then they have very little reasons to leave the organization. Even if you're treating them well and they are not, in other respects, but they are not well remunerated, they may be tempted to leave when other organizations offer them better remuneration. So offer them competitive benefits and packages that are, that are competitive within your sector or within your industry. So that's number one and is very, very key. Then, of course, the second thing is that you should develop a culture of job security. The employees should feel secure. One of the things that keep employees within an organization is when they feel secure, when they feel that, look, I will not likely lose this job. As far as I'm hardworking, as far as I'm committed, as far as I'm, not breaking any laws, I will not be kicked out of this job just because somebody doesn't like my face. So when they have this feeling of job security, then they will more likely stay. There must be, and it's something that is developed over time. There has to be that atmosphere of job security. Let there be no constant threat. Oh, you will lose your job. Oh, I will sack you. Oh, you will just go. Once people always hear that thing, that you will soon lose your job. Oh, there are no jobs out there. We can sack you at any time. Or when they see people going to meetings and being sacked right there on the spot, then it is an atmosphere of job insecurity. They will also not feel any commitment to want to stay within the organization for very long because they will feel that the organization can do away with them at any time. And so it's an atmosphere that has not created job security. Then, of course, the third thing would be for you to create a positive work environment. When the work environment is positive, people are happy, people are able to laugh with one another, they're able to felicitate with one another, they're able to communicate with one another happily, they're able to work in friendly and convivial manner, then the likelihood of your best hands to stay is higher. Then, of course, you should show interest in your employees' professional development. Don't have the attitude that you don't care whatever happens to them. If they are writing professional examination, try to help them by paying for it. You can, of course, put condition that having paid for it, they have to serve you for a certain number of years, whether they like it or not, or else they will, have to pay you back. So you can do that. You can encourage them by, organizing trainings for them, both within the country and overseas. You can sponsor holidays for them. You can make them, to know that, look, you care about them and their professional development. You can encourage them to be members of professional bodies, and you help them to pay their professional dues because they work, for you, and they apply those professional ideals in your organization. So you can do all of those. Number 5 will be that do not cheat your employees. A lot of organizations do cheat their employees. They will set goals, mutually agreed goals, and in the middle of the road, they will now change it. It has happened to me before. I worked in an organization that set a goal and said, this is what you will get. It is called performance-induced pay. And if you get to this level of your appraisal, you are going to definitely get this performance-induced pay. And I was able to reach that level of appraisal, and they had to reappraise. And I was able to still get that level of appraisal. Then they reappraised the third time within the same appraisal cycle in such a way that I was now below the appraisal, the expected appraisal by 0.04. And that was what disqualified me from getting performance-induced pay. Of course, I left that organization shortly after because I was not happy that I was cheated in what was supposed to be rightly mine. So, if you don't want your best hands to leave, do not cheat your employees. Number 6, of course, will be for you to encourage work-life balance within the organization. Don't let it all be about your work. Let your employees go on holiday, let them go on break, let them have a feel that they have a life outside of work. Let it not just be about your work, your work, your work, your work, your work. Let it also be about them. Let them feel like humans. Let them feel loved, that look, there's life outside of this work. Then, of course, the 7th will be for you to provide employees with opportunities to contribute to decision making on the future of the organization. Let them be a part of the decision making with respect to the future of the organization. When people plan towards a future, they will likely picture themselves in that future, and they will likely want to be a part of what will happen in that future. But when all you do is to plan it yourself without involving them, then they will just think that, well, the future is for you and your organization alone. So let the employees be a part of planning the future of the organization so that they will see themselves as being part of it. Whether you are doing corporate retreat or you are doing corporate planning or budgeting, let your employees be part of those that are making such decisions. Then number 8 would be for you to discourage and punish discrimination within the organization or any kind of toxic behavior. Do not let it lie low. Do not allow it to just go like that. Discourage it, and if it persists, punish it. Because if you don't, then it will mean that you permit it to be, and when you permit it to be, then it will mean that people who do not like toxicity or cannot stomach toxicity within the organization will leave. And these happen to be the good hands, the best hands within the organization. They feel, look, I'm done with this place. I don't want any kind of toxicity, and then they walk away. The 9th one, of course, will be for you to create avenue for social bonding among the employees. When employees feel the atmosphere of good social bonding, they want to stay. Create that atmosphere that staff begin to see themselves as friends. They may not necessarily be friends in reality, but when they start having social interaction among themselves, it makes it makes the good staff to want to stay, because even if they want to leave, they think about those that they will miss within the organization, and the thing will want to keep them. It will want to make them to stay within the organization. So create that social bonding atmosphere within and amongst the employees. Let there be football matches, let there be handball matches, let there be chess competition, let there be social night out, let there be a TGIF, thank God it's Friday, or thank God it's end of the month, or end of year parties or end of quarter parties. Let there be social bonding among the employees. Let the employees feel like they are part of a great bonding that is happening within that organization. And the organization, of course, will be a beneficiary of the friendship that the employees will develop, and they will more likely stay within and give their best to the organization. Thank you. Until we meet once again. Bye-bye.